to ask in the QA panel there. We have spots during the presentation for our presenters to be able to address the questions that are asked. So feel free to write questions in the QA panel at any time, and we'll get to them during those periods. Also, today, even though we're all virtual at this point, or for this webinar, I will say that the land and waterways that I am sitting on today are the traditional territory of the Algonquin, Mohawk, and Anishinaabe people, and all the people living on the land are tied together, or at least on the land that I'm residing on, are tied together by the Crawford Purchase of 1783, which guides a reciprocal relationship between the nation's people, lands, and waterways. We do honor the stewardship of the many people that call this land home, as we strive to foster and better understand the relationships we have with each other, and invite you all to do the same. Now I'd like to pass it over to my colleague Annie, who will do the introduction in French. Over to you, Annie.
Merci Eric. Bonjour à tous et bienvenue à notre webinaire d'aujourd'hui. Avant de commencer, simplement un petit rappel que le webinaire est enregistré et sera disponible sur YouTube peu de temps après la fin. Également, si vous avez des questions au courant de la présentation, n'hésitez pas à les inscrire dans le Q&A au bas de votre écran. Donc, il va y avoir des moments au courant de la présentation où les présentateurs vont répondre aux questions. Également, on prend le temps aujourd'hui de reconnaître les terres sur lesquelles on se trouve. Donc, moi, je suis ici à Ottawa, qui se trouve être les terres des Algonquins Anishinaabe, donc territoire non cédé des Algonquins Anishinaabe. Alors, sur ce, je recède la parole à Eric pour le début du webinaire.
Merci beaucoup, Annie. All right, so starting today, I'm going to go quickly through our agenda because I know we are all excited to get into the real meat of the presentation here with the time series AI Anomaly Detection Booster Pack that is being presented by Chillwall. But some quick housekeeping first. So we've gone through our welcome, some quick updates regarding the Dare Cloud program. We have our upcoming 2 booster packs. So today we are looking at the time series AI Anomaly Detection Booster Pack, which is being presented by Chillwall AI. And then in a couple weeks, we will have the AI chatbot powered web platform starter app, which is a bit of a mouthful, but there we go, which is in the next booster pack coming out by 1280 Labs. Also, a few pieces of news and updates regarding the Dare Cloud program. We will have GPU applications opening up this week, so do watch your inbox for an email invitation to fill out an application to gain access to our privately hosted GPUs in OpenStack. So please do watch your inbox for that. We'll also be sending this out in the Dare quarterly newsletter as well, and that'll follow the invitation to apply. We also have phase 3 of AWS services, which is launching October 10th, with it coming AWS Certificate Manager, System Manager, Secrets Manager, Service Catalog, Guard Duty, and then access to the new Canadian West 1 region servers. Now, with that part completed, I am going to happily pass this over to Michael, Ian, and Chen Yu to talk about our new booster pack, which is the Time Series AI Anomaly Detection. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Eric. And thank you to everyone virtually joining us today. We're very excited to share with you our new booster pack. My name is Michael Campanelli. I'm the co-founder of Chillwall AI, and I'm here today with my co-founder, Dr. Ian Knowles, and our senior machine learning engineer, Chen-Yu Lee. But first, I would like to introduce you a little bit about our company, Chillwall AI. So next slide. So next slide, please. So Chillwall AI is a Human 2.0 personal AI startup specializing in personal predictions and human desire prediction. We're the creators of the world's first experience AI, which is truly disrupting the built world and the digital world and merging the two together. Our verticals specialize in data analytics and smart city. In particular, we've built a concierge that helps you rediscover your city. And we also work in healthcare. Finally, we're an official supplier to the Canadian government, and I'm now happy to introduce the team that built the AI anomaly detection package. So that's the next slide. Perfect. Over to Ian.
I'm Ian Knowles. I'm a co-founder and co-CEO of Chillwall AI. I was responsible for, helping the engineers, supervising the engineering process and I love doing that stuff. Lot more fun than accounting and finance. So Chen, you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chen Li, a senior machine learning engineer in Chillwall AI. I have a master degree of computer engineering from Waterloo University, and I have 8 years working experience in machine learning model design and deployment. Thank you.
And finally, again, it's Michael Campanelli. I'm also the co-founder. I have an MBA from the University of Ottawa, and I have over 20 years experience focusing really on customer engagement, loyalty, and digital experience and marketing. And next slide, please. So today, I'm very excited by the introduction of the time series Anomaly Detection. First and foremost, I want to mention to everyone that you can find this booster pack at the Canary booster pack link that you'll see down below. And then today, what I want to have us focus on is the flight plan, which really talks about the value of why anomaly detection. Then we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can launch this turnkey solution. And finally, we're going to do a demo. And at the very end, if you can't remember everything, the flight plan and the sample solution will really kind of highlight and summarize what we're about to talk to today. So next slide. So now we're going to talk about the flight plan. So what is anomaly detection? So at its real core, anomaly detection detects an abnormal occurrences that may occur in your data. And everyone thinks of this as the big catastrophic failures. That's kind of what the use of this is. And that is definitely true. As you can see, the Deepwater Horizon, where they failed to detect an anomaly in the sensors, and that led to an explosion, or 3 Mile Island, where they failed to detect the nuclear reactors, right, and some changes in the nuclear reactors. But next slide. But the reality is that everyday vulnerabilities are our use cases for anomaly detection, and this represents a wide adoption or use for a lot of SMEs today in Canada. And I'm just going to highlight a few of them just in case this represents your business. The first, obviously, is our IT sector, and this can be for any SME that's building anything to do with security or anything to do with networking. It can obviously detect network intrusions or unusual traffic patterns. Healthcare, of course, in monitoring medical equipment performance or identifying unusual patient behavior. In our demo, we've actually put in a sample solution around an ECG pattern to really highlight how it works for you, so that when you go to do your own, you'll have a benchmark of how it works on an actual healthcare application. Of course, fintech and banking, very, very important to detecting fraud and transactions. Manufacturing, for anyone on this call that's working in an SME that's starting to do some innovations in the manufacturing process. This will really help us with equipment malfunctions or unusual product patterns. And of course, retail, where we definitely want to detect fraudulent transactions and unusual purchasing patterns, or maybe even inventory changes. So really, these are just a few of the sample use cases. I'm sure that you probably have other use cases specific to your your innovation, but it has a wide breadth of use cases that we can use. The next slide, please. Now, what's interesting, though, is for a lot of us, anomaly detection is not at the top of our mind, right? We're startups. We want to build a product. We want to get, product fit, product value. But what happens is that, anomaly detection kind of happens on its own. We have a critical issue, and then we lose a lot of money. And then we think about, oh, we need to build this. We need to build, something to detect these so that this doesn't happen again. And this takes a while. And part of the reason for this is understanding that machine learning engineers are not our core competency, and they're very cost prohibitive. Cloud costs are very cost prohibitive, and this is a real project to build. You know, development time can take 6 to 12 months, many functional teams that are required to build this. But the reason it should be at the top of our mind is because the firms that understand this and have this detection are able to take really timely action. And this can prevent negative outcomes. You know, it could be for a manufacturer of a healthcare device, and that device, you know, you're spotting a problem before you even bring that device kind of to trial or market. So next slide, please. So what I want to introduce is a turnkey solution for everyone that allows you to adopt this fast. And I'm going to first turn it over to, next slide, please, to Ian, just to take a minute to explain to you, you know, what is the difference between your regular Excel, right, package and artificial intelligence as relates to anomaly detection. So over to you, Ian.
Yes. So if you're wondering, the advantages of this, say, over statistical techniques to detect anomalies, the statistical techniques are equations set in stone, and they make certain assumptions about your data that may or may not be true. So they may or may not work. An AI technique is instead it's updated in real time. And it uses I like to call it, it's able to detect complex patterns, not just linear or curvilinear patterns, and it's updated in real time. So when your data is loading, the AI learns every single pattern that's in that data. It learns all of the patterns that are in there much faster than any statistical tool could learn them, and 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 far more complex patterns than any statistical tool could detect. So you mean your data can be completely discontinuous, well, except for the time series component, and nonetheless, it will identify patterns within the data. And the granularity can go down right down to the individual data point or the individual row of data. And whereas statistical techniques for statistical power, you need a lot, you need a lot of occurrences in order to, detect statistically significant differences, right? This will detect differences right down to individual occurrences that don't fit the patterns, the many patterns within your data. The stats, generally speaking, using SPSS and SAS and the like, are generated at the speed of people. The AI tool works at machine speeds. It makes millions of decisions per second. And the accuracy of the AI tool is in real time accuracy, whereas statistical tools are often deployed as a snapshot of your data, and it's good for the snapshot, but not very much further than that. So as your data is loading into the AI, it's learning on a real time basis. So thank you, Michael. I'm done.
Yeah, next slide, please. So you don't have to build this from scratch. This is one of our big missions. So what we've done is we've built, recognizing the complexity of anomaly detection, we've built a turnkey solution that is fully automated with all the microservices that just deployed at that launch that we're going to show you today. And they cover many use cases for your data. Secondly, you don't need now any of the specialized talent. What we will then do is we will output the anomalies as it detects it, and then that can go right into your systems. And of course, you don't need that 6-month development time. This is fast and ready to go. And it's built in an open source so that it fits within one AWS instance that we will kind of trigger within the DARE environment, within your DARE budget, no licensing required. And this is something that we, wanted to make it as successful as possible for everyone, so that you can get the value without the time that you need to spend, so you can focus on your innovation, your business, making it a success and making it commercial. Next slide, please. So this is my favorite part. What is in the BoosterPack? So it is a purpose-built solution that will take your time series data and then we'll output the anomalies as they are occurring in the data. So the first core part of this, and this will be part of the demo, is that we allow you to upload raw unsupervised data sets and very easily. And then we've automated the whole build of the virtual cloud environment for you so that you don't have to do this. It's ready to go. It's within the DARE environment. And then the AI models, which are the core algorithms, they're deep learning models that will train your data and identify any anomaly outputs for you. They'll do this all within your DARE budget, so it's very low cost because they will run very fast, probably within 15 minutes. You'll get your answer, and you don't have to worry. This is running well within your monthly DARE budget, so that the solution was designed so that's not going to go over your budget that you have from the team with Dawn and team. Next slide, please. So the core of what we've built has three sort of core layers. It has an interface layer. This is the layer where you're gonna, at the very first time, you're gonna activate and build the whole environment. This is in our sample solution that Chenyu will also walk to. It also has a command line that allows you to upload your new data. And then that will go into our back-end layer where our big GPU anomaly detection will be built. So first of all, this entire environment will be set up for you. But what's important is in the backend layer, that's when the anomaly detection will take over and will start to build and will start to analyze your data. And then obviously it has a data storage layer from which it can then start to store the data and run the outputs, and then it will spit out the outputs for you. And the main tools are very common tools, but they're tools that you might or might not be familiar with, such as pandas, numpty, scikit-learns, and TensorFlow, so that if this ever needs to be modified in the future, it's relatively easy to modify. Obviously, given the fact that we're using common platforms and software applications. So now I'm going to pass it over to Chenyu, who's going to do a demo to show you how this works, and then we'll close with a quick review of the flight plan and the sample solution, just to kind of guide you through what we just talked about and how it all works.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chenyu Li. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through the process of anomaly detection BoosterPack deployment. First, here is our DARE BoosterPack web page. We can find the time series anomaly detection BoosterPack. Then we click the deploy here. After we click the deploy here, it will redirect us to the AWS that creation web page. This step is to upload the CloudFormation template. Because we already upload our template to the S3 bucket, so the template information and the S3 URL is preset here. We can click the next to the next step directly. Now we move to the step 2. Is for the stack details. Here you can set the stack name and the instance tab and the user's public IP address. This IP address is not your instance address. It's your workplace, your home's public IP address. This IP address is it's the IP address allowed to access to your instance. I'm going to get my IP address. Enter here. Next is the our EC2 key pair. This key is to enable SSH access to our instance. So we need to select our EC2 key pair here. Then click next. This page is for stack options. We don't need to change anything here. It's all default. Press next. In the step number 4, we can review the stack information. If everything is good, we can press submit. Now the stack is being created. We can monitor the progress in real time here. Once everything is set up, we will see the status change from create in progress to create complete. When the creation is completed, we can find the public IP address here at the output, and we can use your keys and SSH to access your instance using this public IP address. I'm going to share my terminal and show how to access to your instance. Here is my terminal. Now we are ready to use our EC2 keys and our IP address to access our instance. Now we are in our instance. You can see the message installing BoosterPack components. Please wait. In this step, it's installing the applications, libraries, packages, and virtual environment. This step will take around like 5 minutes. And the next step is model training will take around like 15 minutes. So to keep things moving, I'm not going to wait here. I will share some screenshot of applications instead of waiting for the installation and the model training. Here is a screenshot of my terminal. You can see like after 5 minutes, you will see this message. Their BoosterPack installing complete. It means all the packages, libraries, applications, and virtual environments are ready to run. Then we can run these 3 commands to activate your virtual environment. Then we run these 2 commands to train the model. As I mentioned before, the model training will take around 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you will see this message. It will tell you the accuracy, precision, and recall of your model. If you're happy with the accuracy of your models, then your model is ready to run. And you can run this command. You can run this command to run your model, and the result will be saved in the under the result folder. Also, you can use after you get the result, you can use scp command to download the result to your laptop, local PC, or if you have a new data, your own data, you can also use scp command to upload your data into the instance. Okay, so that's my demo, and we have tutorial documents available to help you start. And Michael will show you the flight plan and sample solution quickly. Michael.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Chenyu. Could we put up the flight plan? I just want to show everybody. So the first part of the flight plan, if Victoria, if you could just go to the very bottom. We've created a series of tutorials, which is under resources at the very bottom. And that's just in case we don't know everyone's level of experience with artificial intelligence, especially if you just have a database manager. So here, there's a lot of great tutorials that will talk about some of the concepts that we're talking about in this presentation. And then if you now want to just go a little bit higher, we've also put in the flight plan some tips and traps for everybody, so that these are just little things to watch for. One of the most important things is just to make sure that you have good data and you understand your data before you input your time series data. And then the second thing is that we've built sample, the model runs off a sample so that you can just see exactly how that would work in terms of the output of your data, downloading the data, etc. And then you can move to your solution, which is all going to be done in the sample solution, which we're going to highlight. The last thing I want to talk about is just tuning your data to make sure it's accurate. And this doesn't require very much a specialized skill set. If you can go down to the tips and tricks, just one last one. Yeah. Right here, we talk about the different functions that we have within the model and how you can just set those levers within the model just to make sure that you feel your solution is fit to your data set. And we describe all of that in this flight plan. The next one I want to talk about is the sample solution. So Chenyu, I know you talked a lot about it, but for everybody in the call, the sample solution will, if we could go to the sample solution now, the sample solution will step-by-step walk you through how you deploy it, it automatically upload all the 80 plus packages, I believe, that we have, and sets up that environment for you. So it's all done for you. It will then also, if you scroll down just a bit more, it will show you this kind of from a pictorial perspective of exactly kind of how to do this. And this is just a bit of an overview of the model itself and just kind of what is the model doing in the background that we've already set up for you. So it's going to do a lot of cleaning, transformations. It's going to do results. It's going to spit out the results for you. So this is all happening in the background for you. You don't need to have any specialized knowledge other than just maybe a database manager who understands their data. And then if you could keep scrolling down for a second, and this is just a bit of a background description of it, but if you could keep going, Victoria, I want to highlight for everybody how to deploy. So Chenyu walked through this deployment, but we've kind of done step-by-step for you on how to deploy this. It can be deployed, like Chenyu said, within 5 minutes, results probably within 15 minutes. And so you could use this document just for step-by-step on how to do that deployment. And how to update the data using the scp command. So if you want to just scroll down, it's a pretty straightforward step-by-step approach to doing this, as you can see, and you'll see the messages to what Chenyu was mentioning that you should get. And then you'll see that your environment has been activated. And so now you can go through and run the anomaly test and it will spit it out. Now, we have, as I mentioned to you guys, we have put in a sample for everybody to see how this data should work and what should the output be there so that you can get familiarity with what to expect, because we want this as turnkey as possible for everybody so that they can spend all their time on actually at resolving any anomalies at the code level for you. And so if you keep going down on the past this, you can then it just gives you a sample of how to do the model training that I was mentioning to you around those hyperparameters. So you could follow that right here. And then the last part is just running the actual model and getting the results. And those results, as Chen you mentioned, will just come to you in a prepackaged CSV file that will clearly highlight if there is any anomalies in your data, where they are in your data. And the last part is obviously the termination of the model. So when you're done, because you can go in and use this model, it's low cost, it's within your budget, but you can always terminate the model and then restart the model if that's your preference, or you could just keep the model on and you can keep adding data to the model. And so that's why this document is really quite useful, as it's the sample solution before you kind of deploy your document, before you deploy the anomaly detection application. And Victoria, can you just scroll down for one more? I just want to also highlight for everyone that we've also built in, sorry, can you keep going? This is just for information, but we've also built in sample data sets and understanding how the data is to be uploaded so that you're never having to worry about that. And so this section will just talk about that sample data set and how to basically format your data before you go and upload your data. And it's pretty standard, but we wanted to highlight that to everyone in this section of the data architecture so that you don't run into any issues with the data and data provenance on that in the pre-processing stage. And so that's kind of the core of what the sample solution will really focus on. If you could just go down a bit further, and then the last thing is just how to input data, just how to check that your data is good. And so you can follow this documentation on that. And I would just close by saying there is a section on security, and we've tried to answer again some, if you continue further down, because it is an autoencoder base, so it's very advanced. We tried to put a glossary of terms in case you're not familiar with those terms at the very end. And now I think it's a good time to kind of move over to any questions and answers that everybody may have. I do want to, though, just before we go to that, thank the team at Canary, Dawn, Tom, Eric, Sagan. They will, of course, be your front line to questions around the data environment. But I want to move it over now to the Q&A for anybody on the call.
Thank you very much there, Michael. So we do have a question that's already come in, and it seems to be two questions. So first, the application only works on Linux for now. Is that question? Is that true? Or what, can it work on other OSs?
You mean the Linux in the instance? Yes, because when we create the stack, the system in the instance is preset, so it's Linux.
Okay.
But
oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, but that shouldn't negate you using it because it's going up to an instance to do the pre-processing for everybody. So what's really important for you is the data, right? That you have the data to pre-process and build it. The Linux is in the background.
Okay.
But you can access to the instance from any system. For example, if you have Windows system, you can still log into your AWS instance using your Windows laptop.
Yeah.
Now, regarding model training, is there a minimum amount of data that should be used to have good accuracy?
Yes, I think so. I prefer like at least you have a few thousands data points. Otherwise, your model will be underfitting it. The accuracy will be reduced if you don't have enough data point.
How many would you consider to be like enough data points?
I think at least few thousands at least.
Few thousand. Okay.
It's better like maybe 10,000. I think 10,000 you will have a good 10,000 data point. You will have a like a good result.
So a few thousand minimum, 10,000
Yeah.
ideal. Okay.
Now, for everybody in the call, this is time series, right? So it is going to be data over a period of time. So that also helps with the data point count.
Is there any other questions at this time regarding the booster pack? Opening the floor to anybody in case anyone else has any burning questions they would like to ask. Not seeing any new ones come in at the moment. Michael, is there anything in particular that you feel is quite special you'd like to highlight at this time regarding the booster pack?
Yeah, what I just want to highlight to everyone is that obviously anomaly detection, when it does occur, it is critical and has a huge impact on your business. And this booster pack is really very turnkey. It sets up all the packages for everybody. Really, your engagement is just uploading the data and then seeing results. So it doesn't require any specialized skills, even though the algorithms are very, very complex. And so this could have significant value add for a number of SMEs as they are driving towards commercialization and looking at the next stage of validating their product. Or it could show opportunities in their product development that need to be addressed, and the market may have a better market fit for them. So that's kind of why we're very excited by the use case of this, and we're very excited by the ability to continue to spur innovation and success and boost it for our Canadian SMEs.
Now, in terms of industry as well, like you already mentioned, healthcare being one of the manufacturing being another one of the major, I guess, sectors that could utilize a booster pack like this. Do you see any other, I guess, industries that haven't been mentioned yet that you'd be like, oh yeah, this is a slam dunk that should definitely be checked out?
Yeah, so that was a great question, Eric. So again, it really has to do with anyone who has data, and data is really important for the functioning of their applications. And so this really cuts across almost any industry. So I think I was talking about anybody who's doing retail. Obviously, this is huge. Anybody who's doing security, this is huge. Anybody who's doing finance and fintech, very big. We haven't mentioned clean tech, but this is also very valuable for clean tech startups that are looking at historical data and looking at kind of what type of innovation impact does my clean tech startup have. So this is also quite valuable for that as they're looking at historical patterns. And then, obviously the classic example is anyone who's doing manufacturing.
Yeah.
Right, and has systems that are dependent upon this, right? And I really want to stress to everyone on the call that this is always an afterthought, right, to the team. And so what we want to do is we want to say this should be a thought now in your innovation process with this turnkey solution.
Which makes sense. And one of the other ones that popped up in mind was agritech would be another one that has tons and tons
huge.
of
Yeah,
data points to take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Agritech is a huge one.
Any firm with automation or a supply chain benefit.
Oh, we did have another question while we're chatting as well. Are you able to share which, I guess, machine learning algorithm has been used for the application? Is one of the questions.
Yep.
Yes, we use autoencoder deep learning models. There is one, I think, there is one LSTM layer in the autoencoder. Yeah, that's what we are using. Autoencoder plus LSTM layer.
Yeah, and this is highlighted in for the person who's asked this question. This is highlighted if you want to learn more about autoencoders within the flight plan, and there's a tutorial on that as well as tutorials around data fits for this. So you don't need any real specialized knowledge to do this.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Any other questions at this time? Please keep them coming, as we'll be here to answer them. One of the other, so a little bit on your, I guess, speaking point prior to the question was you were talking about how to incorporate this kind of anomaly detection earlier on in the innovation cycle. Where do you see this kind of booster pack fitting in an organization's journey, I guess? So would it be after establishing an MVP, or do you believe it's better suited for during the development of that MVP?
Yeah, that's another really great question, Eric. So traditionally, it's done after, right? And the issue with doing it after is that you're going to lose a lot of time, cost, major impacts to your product. Imagine if you were creating a medical radiation device, and only after the fact did you find that in certain situations it was emitting extra radiation. You know, that's gonna really affect your product. So we believe this should be done at the earliest stages of your innovation for two reasons. Obviously, one, to have better products and spot earlier on, and then to be able to spot it at the code level where you can make those changes. But we also think that it could highlight an opportunity in your MVP development from which you can then go build towards, which you may not have ever thought of, that adds greater commercial value, right, out to the business. And like we mentioned, this is for SMEs, but really could be for any business at any stage of their development. It could be for banks, right, if they wanted to, right?
Which makes
Right.
sense. And so
Right.
incorporating it into that early MVP development cycle, would you then recommend actually running this on multiple occasions? So
Correct.
multiple points during development to see, okay, what has been changed or what has changed or been tweaked during this development cycle.
Yeah, that's correct. And the other thing it could be used for is in the research phase too, right? If you're looking at a number, like if you brought up the agritech, Eric, if
Yep.
you're looking at opportunities and you're looking at a series of historical data, this can help you spot, right, where any anomalies may be occurring, right? And we started this thing by talking about that it can lead to catastrophic failures. And of course, we certainly don't want that to happen. We want to catch that early on. But it also leads to all of these everyday kind of defects and fraud that can really affect the value of your product and the trust of your product as you move to commercialization.
Or as you said, like it identifies opportunities too, where there's actually
Right.
gaps in that data to be like, oh, there's no product that currently addresses that gap. So that's actually a very interesting way to approach it. You can do it as
Yeah.
early as when you're at ideation, is begin using this booster pack to begin looking
Abs-
at data sets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the biggest things that that people don't actually do, because usually you're not doing anomaly detection early on. You're doing it later on, right?
Yeah.
Especially for fintech. I think that could be a very big opportunity.
Oh, I imagine so. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's lots of data points for fintech out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or for cyber security as well.
Cybersecurity. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I haven't seen any new questions come in at the moment. So if there are any other new questions, please do feel free to type them into the Q&A panel and we will get those answered today. But I guess we can look towards, oh, did I just get something new come in? Perfect, I did. There we are. So the booster pack is open source is what the question is right now.
Yes, 100%. And Chenny, do you want to add to that?
No, I'm good. Yeah, it's open source and it's available in our Chillwall AI GitHub. I think we have a link in the sample solution.
Yep, so that's all available in the Canary booster pack catalog, especially the link to the GitHub as well.
Yeah, with no licensing requirements to use this.
Which is ideal for entrepreneurs beginning to look and experiment with anomaly detection, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that's ideal is it's very low cost. It fits within their budget. So you do not have to worry, because this is a very expensive, time-consuming solution. And you don't need to worry about that. That's one of the primary reasons why people don't look at this in the MVP stage.
Yep, exactly. Okay.
Yeah. So it's low cost.
With that, I think we're going to wrap up a little bit today. So,
Don, Eric, I just
Yeah.
wanted to add one quick thing. For anyone who's on the call, we are going to be at the Innovation Summit next week in Ottawa, and please stop by our booth. We're happy to get into more details around the solution, or just generally chat about our company and what we offer. But it is a wonderful summit, so we're looking forward to attending.
Yeah, that's the Canary Summit right here in Ottawa.
Yes, the Canary Summit in Ottawa, Eric.
Yes, so anyone who's in the Ottawa area or can make the trip to Ottawa, please do drop by. It'd be a great time. Okay, well, I guess we'll look to wrap here today. I do want to thank Michael, Chenyu, and Ian for their time and introducing our booster pack and the development work all of you did in bringing this booster pack to life, because I think it'll be pretty valuable for our community. So thank you very, very much for the presentation today and for the booster pack development. Is there anything that either of the three of you would like to say before we sign off here today?
Yeah, over to Ian.
I guess if there's anybody from the city of Ottawa, we do have smart city applications that we're implementing in the United States. So if the city of Ottawa is interested in partaking, come see us at the booth or give us a call and we'll work with you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ian.
Shameless advertising.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's very much allowed. So thank you very much, Ian. Thank you very much, team, for the booster pack and the webinar today. And thank you everyone for attending. Again, this booster pack, not booster pack, this booster pack webinar will be available on YouTube. So feel free to go back and watch it. And if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, the DARE team on Slack, and we can connect you with Ian, Michael, and Chenyu.
Very good.